I think I could definitely take on a larger role for next season. It's something that I'm prepared to do and I want to do. I think for a #1 goaltender, you have to be a part of the leadership core. Something that is definitely a large responsibility, but something I'm ready for now. This year, we kind of took a step back. We lost, obviously, Chemo, Flyersice. We're big guys in that department, and that's something moving forward that the guys that we have to continue to grow into that role and be better at it. There's times in the season where we have to be more stern with one another, I think, and that's something that has to happen next year.
Did you do a lot of that this year?
I'd speak up in intermissions, and at the same time, you kind of have to, from a goaltender's perspective, because you're such a different position from everybody else. Sometimes you have to take a little step back, but I think going into next season, been here for going into a third full year next year, more prepared for that role to step up a little bit more next year.
How was it perceived when you did that?
I think it's just fine. I think guys will respect the individuals who do step up and say something, because there's times when things do need to be said. Coming from a goaltender, I don't really think should change much. How you might have to choose your words a little bit differently, but I think at the same time, goaltenders can be leaders too.
How tough is it when you look back at the season? How tough is it to balance the feel of it? I mean, you have a great individual year and finish third in the league in save percentage, but the team doesn't find much success. How do you judge and assess the year?
It's a disappointment. I've said it a couple times already in the previous days that you work hard all summer long to prepare, 82 games, it's a grind, and then you don't make the playoffs. That's your main goal for the entire year, is to make playoffs. Whether you have a great year individually, that all changes when you don't make playoffs, because that's the ultimate goal, is to get into the playoffs and then win a Stanley Cup. I can look at my year and be proud of it, but you can't be proud of the fact that we didn't get into the playoffs.
You were one of the guys that had much better stats at home than on the road. Not that your road stats were terrible by any means, but is it the play in front of you? Do you feel your play was different? Is it a different feeling when it's a tight game?
Yeah, everybody needs to be better on the road. It's easier to play at home. You got the home fans on your side. You're in a comfortable environment, sleep in your own bed, all that sorts of thing come into play. But for us to be a playoff team, we have to be a better road team. If we had even slightly better road record, we probably would have been in the playoffs. And, we're here having our exit interviews today because we're not a better road team this past season. I think going into next year, guys have to step up in tough situations to get those road wins. We lost a couple shootouts, overtime games, and those points come down to hurt you at the end of the day. When you lose a game in the middle of November or early December, whatever it may be, you think at the time, well, it's only 2 points. Now it's not going to hurt us, but those 2 points come back and they haunt you, and we have to do a better job of managing the games on the road, because we let games slip away and you miss the playoffs.
There were times this year when you weren't getting goal support. I remember the Islander game, 46 saves, whatever. Is that challenging for you emotionally, mentally, to say to yourself, I can't get frustrated, I got to keep doing it?
Yes, in order to stay consistent, sometimes the biggest battle is the mind game, I think. Sometimes throughout the year, we weren't scoring, but that's out of my control. I just had to keep telling myself to focus on my job, and eventually the goals would come, and that's basically what I just kept telling myself over and over again, was just don't focus on the background noise. If I earlier in my career, I think I would let that affect me a little bit more, and that would probably have derailed my play. But I think this season I just focused on one thing and one thing only, and that was stopping the puck, and I tried to do that the best I could and give the guys a chance to win.
Do you feel like you're in the top echelon of goals now? I think somebody just showed that one of the guys from ESPN.com ranked as top 9 goaltenders this year, and you weren't in it. despite, you know, your stats are near the top. Do you feel like you're getting the respect that you should be getting, and you're in that group now among the elite goalies?
I like to think you know, knocking at the door. You know, people are always going to probably doubt me because of my years in Columbus and where I struggled, but I think I'm a different goaltender now than when I was playing my last few years in Columbus, and I'm proud of, you know, where my game is at now, and I think I can get better as still. But I'm sure, you know, there'll be people that will doubt me, and all that does is just give me motivation to keep improving. And you know, I think with the goaltender coach, whoever that may be, we'll just bring another element to my game hopefully and continue to get better.